Thanks for tuning in. I want to wish our Jewish community a very happy Hanukkah, which begins this Sunday evening. During these holidays, we often take time to appreciate the good fortune of having family, friends, and shelter. Unfortunately, for some of our most vulnerable neighbors, they do not have these basic support systems. I'm grateful for the work of the county's Interagency Commission on Homelessness and all our nonprofit partners for the progress they're making on our region's goal to end homelessness. This week I spoke to the Commission on Homelessness at their community-wide meeting at the Mount Calvary Baptist Church in Rockville. This meeting continues our work of identifying strategies and strengthening coalitions between the government and our nonprofit partners to combat homelessness and support individuals with affordable housing options. Our bottom line is to leave no one out in the cold. During the pandemic, we expanded our offerings, giving shelter year-round to as many people as we possibly could. We had to use some of our rec centers, and when it was time to return these centers to their intended uses, we knew we needed to do something else. Within 20 months, we funded, found a location, designed, constructed, and opened a new homeless shelter on Neville Street in Rockville. This facility more than doubled our year-round shelter capacity and enabled all our shelters to maintain social distancing. As our administration begins this new term, I want to reaffirm the county's commitment to ending homelessness for all. We want homelessness in Montgomery County to be rare, brief, and one time only. Nelson Mandela once said, "Freedom is meaningless if people cannot put food in their stomachs, if they cannot have shelter, if illiteracy and disease continue to dog them." Please consider our homeless population during this holiday season and into the new year by donating your time, food, clothing, or funds to help those who are down on their luck or who need help. For more information on how to access resources or assist in these efforts, go to montgomerycountymd.gov/homelessness. This week, Dr. Keisha Davis began her first week as the county's new health officer. We welcome her and look forward to her contributions to our public health efforts. Dr. Davis is beginning her tenure with the county at an important time as we begin the winter season with a tridemic of converging health issues: COVID, RSV, and the flu. The good news this week is that we are seeing a reduction in RSV cases, but both our flu and COVID rates continue to climb. Additionally, our hospitals remain under stress, especially in their ER departments. Our current surge in cases is coming right before the holidays, and with increased travel and gatherings, we want people to enjoy being with family and friends, but we hope everyone celebrates safely. In terms of COVID, we remain in the low community level, according to the CDC, although our COVID case rate is higher than during the same time last year. And our COVID test positivity rate is increasing. Currently, the county is at a high transmission, which means we need to increase our vigilance, especially in congregate settings, such as long-term care facilities. We also encourage everyone to test before you go to your holiday gatherings. It's better to cancel plans than to get friends and family sick. But the most important thing everyone can do is get your bivalent booster and flu shots. I'm pleased that 57% of our residents over 65 have received the new booster, as this cohort is the most vulnerable to serious illness and death from COVID. However, over 70% of eligible county residents still need their bivalent boosters. Sometimes the easiest way to find those who need these shots is to go to them instead of waiting for them to come to us. And that's exactly what we're going to do again this Saturday, December 17th, for our fourth Booster-Rama event at Westfield Wheaton Mall. This weekend is the busiest shopping weekend of the year, and we're offering the best gift of all, free bivalent boosters and flu shots at the mall. Westfield Wheaton will once again be raffling off gift certificates to anyone who rolls up their sleeves. I want to thank our Department of Health and Human Services team, including our Latino Health Initiatives, Salud y Bienestar, Westfield, and Proyecto Salud for their continued cooperation and collaboration and outreach. Creative ideas like Booster-Rama and partnerships like the one with Westfield have helped Montgomery County to continue to lead the nation in vaccination rates. This is our first Booster-Rama where we will be also giving out the flu shots, and I'm interested in seeing the results. Our flu rates are nearing a record high, and we're just about to get into full swing of the flu season. There have already been 10 deaths across the state this year that are attributable to flu. Please take this threat seriously and get your flu shot. The CDC recommends that everyone 6 months and older get an annual flu shot. As we highlighted last week, we are seriously concerned about the stress that these illnesses are putting on our emergency rooms and hospital staff. Please continue to help out those in the front lines of our healthcare system. Get your shots, wash your hands, and if you're not feeling well, stay at home, get better, and protect others. As we can tell from the hazardous weather this week, winter is upon us. I encourage everyone to please follow the latest weather and traffic by signing up for Alert Montgomery text and email messages. You can choose to receive emergency alerts about specific neighborhoods, including around your home, workplace, or your child's school. You can also decide what kind of alerts you want to receive, from weather to major road closures to water advisories. As the weather turns on us, we must expect some ice and snow covered sidewalks and driveways. When that happens, we often use salt to melt ice. Salting helps prevent slips and falls, but oversalting can lead to disastrous environmental impacts. Salt runs off into the storm drains, local streams, and eventually to the Potomac and Patuxent rivers, which are drinking water sources for 1.8 million residents in Montgomery and Prince George's County. Salt can corrode concrete and masonry, harm pets, damage surrounding plants and lawns, and adversely impact the water supply. Here are some simple tips to be salt-wise. Shovel ice and snow early and often. Use 1 12-ounce cup of salt for 10 sidewalk squares or for a 20-foot driveway. After storm events, sweep up excess salt for reuse. By being careful and deliberate about salting, you can ensure your family's safety and be eco-conscious. For more information and resources about the county's winter weather response, please go to our Winter Storm Information Portal at montgomerycountymd.gov/snow. It's that time of year again, making New Year's resolutions. One of the most common resolutions is to get in better shape and lose weight. The Montgomery County Recreation Department is here to help with Free in 23, a full year of free access to all of our recreation centers. This deal does not include the county aquatic centers, but the free pass will provide access to fully equipped fitness rooms, open gym, activities, and game rooms at any of the recreation centers during the regularly scheduled hours. Go to montgomerycountymd.gov/rec for more information and sign up for their free passes. We have noticed over the last couple of weeks how popular this news is. I want to thank Department Director Robin Riley and all of our Montgomery County Recreation employees for this gift that can be enjoyed for an entire year. Recreation activities and exercise are the keys to healthier and happier lives. I hope you take advantage of this incredible opportunity. Over the last several weeks, we've conducted more budget forums in and for more communities than ever before. Besides hosting forums in all 5 of our regional service centers, we've conducted forums for our seniors, Spanish-speaking, and Chinese-speaking audiences. At each budget forum, we presented our successes, our challenges, and our fiscal outlook going into the next year. But my favorite part of these forums was the comments and questions from those who attended, as well as the conversations I had after these events. These forums allowed multiple residents opportunities to share and engage with us. Our budget process is far from over, and I encourage you to continue sharing your comments and concerns by going to montgomerycountymd.gov/exec and scroll down to the Contact Us section to email me your thoughts. Leaders from African nations were in D.C. this week meeting with White House and congressional officials. The last time our nation hosted these leaders was in 2014, and a lot has changed since that time, including new political leadership, the pandemic, and the rise of Russian and Chinese interests on the African continent. These meetings are important to our over 54,000 Africans who live in Montgomery County, making up 15% of our immigrant population. In fact, statewide, African immigrants have increased 42% in the last 10 years. Montgomery County has become home to a thriving African diaspora for decades and continues to make global impacts on society in the county and the state of Maryland. Africans have and continue to contribute in very significant ways to our society and our cultural fabric. The African diaspora also plays a critical part in our county efforts to be a global partner in building and strengthening world peace and maintaining global relations through its sister city ties with Gondar, Ethiopia, and similar commitments to inclusion through government funding and support to many African community-based programs and services. I want to thank President Biden for announcing his executive order on establishing the President's Council on African Diaspora Engagement in the United States this week. This effort will further strengthen our ties and provide a platform for members of the African diaspora to continue to engage on issues of their homeland. For more information, resources, and events on county's outreach and effort to our African communities, I encourage you to contact the Montgomery County African Community Liaison, Harriet Shangarai, and follow the African Affairs Advisory Group on Facebook at African AAG. Thanks for tuning in this week, and I hope you have a great weekend, and see you again next week.